It was a quiet morning in New York City. People were heading to work, drinking coffee, and scrolling through their phones. The sky was clear, and sunlight painted the tall buildings gold. No one knew that this would be the last normal sunrise the world would ever see. At 9:32 a.m., something strange appeared in the sky. It wasn't a plane. It wasn't a cloud. It was a massive dark shape, silent and motionless, covering the sun like an eclipse. People on the streets stopped walking. Cars honked, brakes screeched, and cell phones lifted toward the sky. Then it moved. The shadow spread wider, and a deep vibration filled the air. Windows rattled. Birds flew in every direction. When people looked up, they saw it a ship. Not a human ship. A massive alien craft, black and silver, with glowing blue lines crawling across its surface like veins. Then came another. And another. 3 ships. Each one the size of a city. In seconds, the world changed. A loud voice echoed through emergency channels. All units. Code black. This is not a drill. Military bases went silent. Communication networks went down. The sky above the United States, Europe, and Asia turned red as the ships positioned themselves over major cities. The first beam struck Los Angeles. A blinding light, then a shockwave. The city shook, skyscrapers collapsed, and a wall of fire swept across the streets. Millions watched it live until the cameras melted away. The President of the United States, Ellen Hayes, was rushed to an underground bunker. She stared at the satellite feed, whispering, "My God, they're not invading. They're cleansing." Across the country, Air Force bases scrambled fighters, but their missiles barely scratched the alien hulls. Every attempt failed. It was like throwing stones at a mountain. At Nellis Air Force Base in Nevada, Captain Ryan Cooper ran through smoke and fire. He was 32, tough, calm, and known for never backing down. But that day, even he felt fear. He watched as alien drones rained energy blasts across the runway, destroying jets before they could take off. His commander shouted, "Fall back! Fall back!" But Ryan refused. He grabbed his friend Lieutenant Mark Davis by the arm. "Come on, we're not dying here." They jumped into a Humvee and raced toward the desert as the base exploded behind them. When the shockwave hit, their vehicle flipped over, crashing into the sand. Ryan crawled out, coughing, blood on his face. Mark wasn't moving. For a long moment, Ryan just stood there, staring at the sky. The alien ships hung above the world like gods. Then he whispered, his voice shaking, "If this is the end, I'm taking one of you with me." Hundreds of miles away, a group of military scientists received a secret transmission. It came from deep below the Nevada desert, an old base that hadn't been used in decades. A single message repeated in a cold mechanical voice. Project Aegis activation required. Dr. Sarah Mitchell, a defense scientist, looked up from her console in shock. She had heard rumors about Aegis, a hidden program buried under government secrecy. But no one ever confirmed it was real. She turned to her assistant. "If Aegis is awake, that means they knew this could happen." The assistant frowned. "Who's they?" Sarah replied quietly, "The ones who built it." Meanwhile, chaos spread across the world. Cities burned. Governments fell. Millions ran for safety, but there was no safety left. News anchors cried on live TV. A man in Texas tried shooting at the sky with his rifle, shouting, "We ain't going down without a fight." In Tokyo, a mother held her child as sirens wailed in the distance. In London, churches opened their doors, packed with people praying for a miracle. But there were no angels that day, only fire. Back in the desert, Ryan wandered alone. He had lost everything: his base, his friends, his country. He walked for miles, following a faint signal from his radio. At last, he reached a metal door half buried in the sand. It looked old, forgotten but powered. A voice spoke from a speaker beside it. Identity confirmed. Captain Ryan Cooper, U.S. Air Force. Access granted. The door slid open. Inside, he found a vast underground hangar filled with machines he had never seen before, sleek black aircraft, humming with blue energy. At the center stood a woman in a white lab coat, Dr. Sarah Mitchell. She looked up at him, calm despite the chaos above. "Captain Cooper," she said. "You're right on time." Ryan frowned. "Time for what?" She smiled slightly. "For humanity to fight back." Ryan followed her deeper into the base. Huge monitors showed live feeds of the alien ships attacking cities. But then Sarah pressed a button, and a new image appeared, a fleet of massive human-built starships, hidden in Earth's orbit. Each ship glowed with alien-looking energy patterns. Ryan stared in disbelief. "What the hell is this?" Dr. Mitchell's voice was steady. 40 years ago, we found a crashed alien ship in the Arctic. We studied it in secret. We used their technology. And we built something the world was never meant to see." She turned toward him and said, "It's called Project Aegis, the hidden shield of humanity." Ryan took a deep breath. "So, all this time, we had a fleet up there?" Sarah nodded. "Waiting for the day they came back." On the monitor, one of the alien ships fired another beam, striking Washington, D.C. Ryan's jaw tightened. "Then what are we waiting for?" Sarah looked at him. "For your command, Captain." Ryan's eyes met hers. "Then let's wake up your fleet." Deep beneath the Nevada desert, far from the burning cities, Captain Ryan Cooper stood in front of a massive screen glowing with blue light. The room hummed with power, as if the walls themselves were alive. Dr. Sarah Mitchell typed rapidly, bringing old systems back online. For the first time in decades, Project Aegis was waking up. Ryan looked around the underground hangar in disbelief. Rows of strange aircraft and huge starships stretched into the shadows, all built from a mix of human steel and alien design. Each one looked powerful, dangerous, and completely unlike anything on Earth. He asked, "How long has this been down here?" Sarah didn't look up. 40 years. Hidden from everyone. Not even the president knows the full truth. Ryan frowned. "And you're telling me this was all built from one crashed ship?" Sarah nodded slowly. "One ship, and one promise. That humanity would never be slaves to any species." Above them, the world continued to fall apart. Alien drones hunted survivors across the ruins of Los Angeles and Beijing. The skies over Europe were filled with black smoke and falling debris. Military satellites showed only destruction. The world's armies were gone. Inside the Aegis control room, alarms flashed red. An AI voice echoed through the speakers. "Global defense systems, offline. Civilian casualties, extreme." Ryan clenched his fists. "We can't just sit here and watch." Sarah stopped typing and turned to him. "I know. But activating Aegis isn't simple. The fleet is hidden inside orbital cloaks. We have to bring them online manually, one by one." "How many ships?" Ryan asked. 200, she said. "But only 40 are combat ready. The rest are still prototypes." Ryan nodded. 40 will do. Tell me what to do." Sarah handed him a holographic tablet. "These are the command keys. You'll need to link your military ID to access the fleet's network." Ryan placed his hand on the scanner. The system beeped and lit up green. "Authorization confirmed, Captain Ryan Cooper, U.S. Air Force." The AI spoke again. "Welcome, Commander. Aegis fleet standing by." Ryan blinked. "Commander." Sarah smiled faintly. "The system automatically assigns command to the highest ranking pilot in the bunker." "Congratulations." Ryan laughed softly, but there was no humor in it. So I guess that makes me humanity's last hope. Sarah looked up at him. Yes. It does. Minutes later, the massive screen showed the sky above Earth. One by one, invisible shapes began to appear in orbit, huge warships slowly uncloaking, revealing sleek black hulls covered in glowing blue veins. They looked like human-made monsters, silent and waiting. Sarah whispered, "They're beautiful, aren't they?" Ryan nodded. "Yeah, let's hope they're deadly too." As the fleet powered up, a voice crackled over the radio. "This is Lieutenant Karen Blake of the ISS Dauntless. We're reading your signal, Aegis Command. Are we go for engagement?" Ryan picked up the mic. "Dauntless, this is Commander Cooper. You are go." "Repeat, you are go." There was a pause, then Karen's voice came back. "Copy that, Commander. Let's show these bastards what humanity can do." In space, the hidden fleet began to move. Engines glowed. Weapons powered up. For the first time in history, humans had a fighting chance against a superior alien race. Sarah watched the radar as the alien ships reacted. "They've detected us," she said quietly. "They're changing formation." Ryan's voice hardened. "Good. Let them come." He turned to the command console and spoke clearly. "Fleet Command, prepare to fire." The room trembled as Aegis cannons opened fire from orbit. Blinding light streaked across the darkness. The first volley hit one of the alien destroyers dead center, tearing it apart. A cheer erupted in the control room. For the first time in days, humans felt hope. But that hope didn't last long. Within minutes, the alien ships began to adapt. Their armor shifted colors, absorbing the human energy blasts. "They're learning," Sarah said, eyes wide. "They're copying our weapons frequency." Ryan slammed his fist against the console. "Damn it! What do we do?" Sarah quickly scanned the data. "We need to change our energy signature. Use the alien tech we copied, reverse it." Ryan nodded. "Do it." She reprogrammed the ship's weapons, channeling alien energy patterns. When they fired again, the shots burned through the alien shields like fire through paper. Ryan grinned. "That's more like it." The battle spread across orbit, human and alien ships locked in a deadly dance above Earth. Explosions flashed like tiny suns. Falling debris lit up the night sky over every continent. Back on Earth, the president received the transmission. The hidden fleet was real and fighting. Tears filled her eyes as she watched alien ships falling from orbit. For the first time, she smiled. "God bless whoever is up there." But in the control room, Sarah's face suddenly turned pale. She zoomed in on the radar. The largest alien ship, the Mothership, was not attacking. It was charging something. A huge energy buildup pulsed at its center, 10 times stronger than the first attack on Los Angeles. Ryan stared at the screen. "What's it doing?" Sarah whispered, "It's not attacking cities anymore. It's targeting space." Ryan's eyes widened. "They're going to wipe out our fleet." Without hesitation, Ryan gave the order. "All ships, focus fire on the Mothership. Do not let it complete that charge." The fleet moved in, but the Mothership's shields were too strong. Every hit bounced off like sparks against steel. Sarah's voice trembled. "We can't break through, unless..." "Unless what?" Ryan demanded. She looked at him. "Unless someone gets inside." Ryan's heart pounded. "Inside? That's suicide." Sarah met his eyes. "It's the only way to shut down the core." For a long moment, the room was silent except for the hum of the machines. Then Ryan said quietly, "Then we'll find a way in." The camera could almost freeze there, the human fleet shining above a burning Earth, facing a godlike enemy, and one man deciding to take the fight straight to its heart. The sky above Earth was no longer blue. It was a battlefield filled with glowing trails of fire, broken ships, and flashes of light that looked like dying stars. The Aegis fleet, humanity's secret weapon, now fought against the alien invaders with everything it had. From the deserts of Africa to the oceans of the Pacific, people watched the battle unfold in the heavens. For the first time in history, Earth was fighting back. Inside the command center deep beneath Nevada, Captain Ryan Cooper stood beside Dr. Sarah Mitchell, his eyes fixed on the main screen. The alien mothership, large as a continent, hovered at the center of it, all calm, silent, and surrounded by chaos. It didn't fire. It didn't move. It just charged its core, building up a storm of blue light that could erase an entire fleet in seconds. Ryan knew time was running out. "Report," he shouted. A young technician replied, 70% charge, sir. Once it hits 100, the fleet's done." Ryan took a deep breath. "Then we hit them first." In orbit, the USS Valkyrie, Ryan's flagship, led the charge. Hundreds of human-built warships followed, engines glowing, their formation tight and silent. Each ship bore the same blue alien markings, proof that humanity had learned from its enemy. Ryan's voice came through the comms, calm but sharp. "All units, this is Commander Cooper. Remember what you're fighting for: your families, your planet, your home. Let's make them regret coming here." The fleet opened fire. Beams of red and blue light sliced through the dark. Alien cruisers exploded, scattering burning metal across orbit. But the mothership's shields absorbed everything, glowing brighter with each impact. Sarah's voice came over the line from the control room. "Ryan, stop firing. You're feeding their shields." Ryan paused, confused. "Feeding them?" "Yes. Their shield converts energy into power. The more we shoot, the stronger it gets." Ryan gritted his teeth. "Then we need to think smarter." He turned to his pilot, Lieutenant Karen Blake, a fearless young officer. "Karen, pull us back. We're not hitting it from here." She frowned. "Then what's the plan?" Ryan looked out at the glowing mothership. "We go inside." Silence filled the cockpit. "Inside?" Karen repeated. Ryan nodded. "Dr. Mitchell said the power core is the key. If we can destroy it, the whole ship goes down." Karen exhaled. "You're insane." Ryan gave a half smile. "Maybe. But it's the only shot we've got." He opened the fleet channel. "All ships, this is Cooper. Maintain formation and cover the Valkyrie. We're going in." There was a long pause, then a rough voice answered. "Godspeed, Commander." The Valkyrie broke formation and dived straight toward the mothership. Alien cannons fired at them, streams of blue plasma cutting across space. Karen dodged hard, the ship shaking violently. "Shields at 40%, she yelled. Ryan shouted back, "Just get us to the core." They reached the alien hull, dark metal pulsing like a living thing. A circular entry gate opened, glowing with strange light. Ryan fired a coded pulse from the ship's alien transmitter, one Dr. Mitchell had created from the crashed ship's systems. The gate recognized the signal and opened. They flew inside. The inside of the mothership was beyond imagination. It looked less like a machine and more like a living organism, twisting tunnels of light and metal, walls breathing in slow rhythm. Hundreds of alien drones moved along the paths, glowing eyes searching for intruders. Ryan and Karen guided the Valkyrie through narrow corridors, engines silent. Karen whispered, "I feel like we're flying through a monster's veins." Ryan replied softly, "Then let's find its heart." They reached a massive chamber, the core. It was a sphere of pure blue energy, floating in mid-air, surrounded by rotating rings of metal. Lightning arced around it, filling the room with power. Ryan's voice lowered. "That's it?" He opened the radio. "Dr. Mitchell, we found it." Sarah's voice came back through static. "Good. Plant the bomb on the power conduit. Once it detonates, the feedback will destroy the entire ship. Ryan nodded. Understood. He and Karen grabbed their suits and stepped out of the ship. The floor beneath them pulsed like a heartbeat. As they approached the core, the air grew heavier, every step felt harder. Then the shadows moved. From the darkness emerged tall, metallic creatures, the alien enforcers. Their bodies were armored, their eyes glowing white. The leader spoke directly into Ryan's mind. Human, you were not meant to exist. You are the result of our mistake. Ryan froze. What are you talking about? The voice echoed again. Your kind was born from our experiment. You are our creation, our failure. Sarah's voice broke through the comms. Ryan, ignore it. They're trying to break you. Ryan clenched his jaw. Too late for that. He lifted his blaster and fired. The shot hit the alien leader square in the chest. It staggered but didn't fall. The others charged. Ryan and Karen fought side by side, blasting through the creatures, each one exploding into bright dust. But there were too many. Karen took a hit to the shoulder and screamed, falling back. Ryan shouted, "Cover me." He ran toward the core and planted the charge directly beneath it. The device beeped once countdown started, 60 seconds. The alien leader rose again, its body repairing itself. It reached for Ryan, its voice cold and deep. You cannot destroy your creators. Ryan shouted, "Watch me." He fired his last shot directly into its head. The creature exploded in a burst of blue flame. The core pulsed faster, energy spilling everywhere. Ryan grabbed Karen and dragged her back to the ship. Let's move. The Valkyrie roared through the tunnels as the countdown hit 0. A blinding explosion filled the mothership, tearing through its structure. Flames and light ripped it apart from within. In space, the remaining alien ships went silent. Their lights dimmed. Their weapons shut down. The mothership was dying, and with it, the invasion. Sarah watched the radar from the control room, tears in her eyes. They did it. They actually did it. But then a faint signal appeared on the screen. A heartbeat in the dark. The mothership's central beacon was still transmitting, to somewhere far away. She whispered to herself, "Oh no, someone out there is listening." The explosion shook the stars. The alien mothership burned like a dying sun, pieces of metal breaking apart and drifting through space. But deep inside the wreck, something still lived. The core was damaged, not destroyed. Its energy pulsed weakly, keeping parts of the ship alive. Inside the USS Valkyrie, alarms blared. Sparks flew from the ceiling, and smoke filled the air. Captain Ryan Cooper coughed and grabbed the control stick. "Come on, hold together," he shouted. Lieutenant Karen Blake, bleeding from her shoulder, looked at the readings. "Engines are down, Ryan. We're trapped inside the ship." Ryan looked through the cockpit window. Fire and debris surrounded them. They were still inside the alien mothership. He took a deep breath. "Then we finish what we started." On Earth, Dr. Sarah Mitchell watched her monitors, her face pale. The radar still showed a faint signal from the Valkyrie. "They're alive," she whispered. But the core's energy signature was still active. If it wasn't shut down soon, it could rebuild itself and the invasion would start again. Sarah grabbed her headset. "Ryan, do you read me?" Static. Then Ryan's voice came through, faint but steady. "I'm here." Sarah sighed with relief. The explosion wasn't enough. "You need to find the primary source of the core and destroy it completely." Ryan's voice was calm. "Copy that. Sending Karen to the medbay." "I'll go alone." "Negative." Sarah shouted. "You can't go by yourself." Ryan smiled slightly, even though she couldn't see it. "Someone has to make sure this ends." Ryan left the cockpit, walking through the silent corridors of the mothership. The walls glowed faintly blue, pulsing like veins under skin. He moved carefully, weapon in hand. Each step echoed metal under boots, the sound of a man walking into the heart of death. He passed through tunnels filled with alien writing and strange symbols that glowed as he walked by. The air felt heavy, alive. When he reached the central chamber, he stopped. The energy core floated above the floor, surrounded by swirling mist and lightning. And beneath it stood a tall figure, the alien leader. The creature was enormous, over 3 meters tall, its armor black and silver, its face hidden behind a mask that moved like liquid metal. Its eyes glowed white. Ryan raised his gun. "So, you're the one in charge." The creature didn't speak with its mouth. A deep voice entered Ryan's mind. "Human, you should not exist." Ryan frowned. "I've heard that before." "What do you mean?" "Your kind was never meant to survive. You were made from our genes, a failed experiment left on this planet. You were supposed to die out, not rise." Ryan's grip tightened on his gun. "Guess we didn't follow the plan." The alien stepped closer. "You built machines, weapons, and now you kill your creators. That is your nature, destruction." Ryan replied, "No. Our nature is survival." The alien's eyes glowed brighter. "You cannot stop what is coming. We are only the beginning." Ryan tilted his head. "Then tell me what's coming." The creature paused, as if smiling. "The true fleet. Millions of ships. Worlds beyond counting. They will erase your kind from existence." Ryan fired. The blast hit the alien's chest, but it only staggered. The creature roared, voice echoing in Ryan's mind. "You fight against gods." Ryan shouted back, "Then I'll kill a god today." They clashed in the middle of the glowing chamber. The alien swung a blade made of pure energy. Ryan dodged and fired again and again, each shot shaking the room. The core pulsed faster, reacting to the battle. Lightning arced between the walls. The alien struck Ryan across the chest, sending him crashing to the floor. Pain exploded through his body. His weapon slid away. The alien towered over him. "You cannot win." Ryan coughed, blood on his lips, and whispered, "Maybe not, but I can make sure you lose." He pulled a small detonator from his belt, the secondary charge Sarah had given him before the mission. The alien's eyes widened. "What have you done?" Ryan pressed the button. A low hum filled the chamber. Beneath the core, small red lights began to blink, one, then two, then dozens. Ryan looked up at the alien and said quietly, "For Earth." The creature lunged forward, impaling Ryan through the shoulder with its blade. Ryan screamed but didn't stop. He grabbed the alien's arm and pulled it closer. "Too late," he whispered. The lights turned white. A blinding explosion tore through the chamber. Outside, the Valkyrie's systems came back online as the shockwave ripped through the ship. Karen shouted, "The core's collapsing. We have to go." She pulled the controls and flew through the burning tunnels, dodging falling debris. Behind them, the entire mothership started to crumble. On the surface of Earth, people looked up and saw a new light in the sky, a massive explosion brighter than the sun. The alien fleet stopped moving. Their lights faded, their ships fell silent, and one by one they began to crash into the oceans and deserts. Humanity had won. Hours later, in the Aegis Control Center, Sarah stood before the screen, watching the burning remains of the mothership. Her eyes were red from crying. She whispered softly, "Goodbye, Ryan." A faint signal blinked on her console, one final message from the Valkyrie before the explosion. Sarah played it. Ryan's voice came through, weak but calm. "If anyone hears this, tell the world we fought back. Tell them we weren't helpless. Humanity stands." Sarah covered her mouth, tears streaming down her face. She turned to her team and said, "He did it. The mothership is gone." The control room erupted in cheers, soldiers hugging, some crying, some laughing. For the first time in days, Earth was free. But far away, beyond the solar system, deep in the blackness of space something stirred. A massive alien station received a faint transmission, the final signal from the destroyed mothership. A voice echoed through the chamber. Unit Voroth eliminated. Begin second wave. Rows of giant ships awoke, their engines glowing blue, stretching into infinity. And as the fleet turned toward Earth, one thought filled the cold void. The war was only beginning. The world was silent. For the first time in weeks, the skies were clear. The alien ships that had once filled the heavens were gone, burning wrecks sinking into the oceans and deserts of Earth. Cities still smoked. Millions mourned their lost families. But everywhere, people looked up with the same thought in their hearts. Humanity survived. In Washington, President Ellen Hayes stood before the cameras, her face tired but proud. Today, she said softly, the human race stood together and won. We faced extinction and refused to fall. But our fight is not over. We must rebuild and remember those who gave everything to save us. Around the world, that message echoed. In New York, children waved small flags from rooftops. In London, crowds cheered in the rain. In Tokyo, candles filled the streets, glowing like stars on Earth. But deep beneath the Nevada desert, Dr. Sarah Mitchell wasn't celebrating. She stood in the quiet control room of Project Aegis, staring at the screen. Her team had gone home. She hadn't slept in 2 days. She couldn't stop thinking about Ryan Cooper. The last message he sent replayed in her head. Tell them we fought back. Tell them humanity stands. She whispered, you did more than that, Ryan. You gave us hope. Suddenly, one of the screens blinked. A soft beeping sound echoed in the dark room. Sarah frowned and leaned closer. Incoming transmission source, unknown. She tapped the keyboard. That's impossible. The mothership was destroyed. The signal grew stronger. A voice, weak and distorted, came through the static. Ra, it's me. Sarah froze. Ryan, she whispered. The voice grew clearer. Still, here. Don't lose hope. Her heart raced. Ryan. Where are you? Static again. Then silence. She stared at the screen, trembling. If Ryan was alive, that meant something else had survived too. Far above Earth, hidden among the wreckage, a single alien escape pod drifted silently. Inside it, Ryan Cooper lay unconscious, his uniform torn, his helmet cracked. The pod's lights flickered. Oxygen was running low. But something strange glowed on his arm, a faint blue mark that wasn't there before. When the mothership exploded, part of its core energy had passed through him. Now, that alien energy was inside his body, changing him, healing him slowly. He opened his eyes, gasping for air. Still alive, he muttered. Guess I'm harder to kill than they thought. He looked out the small window. Earth glowed far below, blue, fragile, beautiful. Then he noticed something else. In the distance, stars were moving. No, not stars. Ships. Thousands of them. Ryan's heart sank. Oh no. Back on Earth, Sarah ran into the control room, calling her team. Everyone, wake up. We've got a new reading. The radar showed hundreds, no, thousands of new contacts entering the solar system. The AI confirmed it. Unidentified fleet detected. Estimated arrival, 72 hours. Sarah felt cold all over. It's a second wave, she whispered. Her assistant looked terrified. Do we even have enough ships left to fight? Sarah turned to the Aegis display. Half the fleet was gone, the rest heavily damaged. But she straightened her back and said firmly, we fight with what's left. Ryan wouldn't quit and neither will we. She sent out an emergency message to all surviving world leaders. The war is not over. Prepare every ship, every pilot, every soldier. Project Aegis will lead the defense. 3 days later, space was filled with fire once again. The second alien fleet arrived, a storm of black ships stretching as far as anyone could see. They were larger, faster, and more ruthless. The humans had rebuilt quickly, but their numbers were small. Still, they stood ready. On the new flagship USS Olympus, Sarah watched from the bridge as the alien fleet appeared on the radar. Her voice was calm, but her eyes burned with determination. Remember, she told her crew, we are not fighting for victory. We are fighting for survival. Humanity doesn't bow. We rise. The alien ships opened fire. The battle for Earth began again. But in the middle of that chaos, something unexpected happened. A strange blue light appeared near the battlefield, a single pod, glowing bright as it entered Earth's orbit. It moved faster than any human or alien ship. It crashed into the side of a burning asteroid and then shot straight toward the alien fleet. Inside, Ryan Cooper was awake. The mark on his arm now glowed like fire. He felt energy surging through his veins, connecting him to something greater, the same power the aliens had used to create their weapons. He heard a faint voice in his head, the voice of Vorath, the alien leader he had killed. You are part of us now, human. Our power flows in your blood. Ryan grinned. Then I'll use it to finish what you started. He pushed the controls forward. The pod transformed, its outer shell shifting into a sleek fighter made from human and alien technology. Engines roared with blue flames. Ryan's voice came through the comms, clear and strong. This is Commander Cooper. I'm not dead yet. Let's finish this war. The Aegis fleet erupted in cheers. Sarah's voice cracked with emotion. Ryan, you mad hero. Welcome back. Ryan led the counterattack himself. The alien fleet, shocked by his reappearance, tried to retreat, but it was too late. Using the power inside him, Ryan guided the Aegis ships to strike the enemy's weak points. Explosions filled the void. He felt the alien energy burning inside, threatening to consume him, but he held on. Every blast he fired tore through the invaders' ships. Sarah watched from the Olympus bridge, whispering, he's turning their own power against them. One by one, the alien warships exploded until only silence remained. The final mothership cracked apart, its engines dying like falling stars. Ryan's voice came through again, weak but calm. Tell Earth, the gods have fallen. And then the signal went quiet. Weeks later, Earth began to rebuild. Monuments were built for those who fell, including Captain Ryan Cooper. But Sarah knew the truth. Somewhere out there, he was still alive, watching over the stars he saved. She looked up at the night sky and whispered. Rest, hero. Humanity stands because of you. Above her, a single streak of blue light crossed the heavens. A silent promise that Ryan Cooper was still out there, guarding the world he fought for. The end.